sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore. I've got my sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, bit late, but we're getting there. Just finalizing stuff, and here we go. Good evening, everyone. 7 people watching already, so it's good to see everyone back. Summer season, new things, new start. It's first previous skill tournament day 3. For those of you who might have already known the previous skill tournament format, not that much different to the previous ones. I don't think there is any difference, so we are in stage 3. There are 8 teams in this group. It's a single elimination series. Every match is going to be played the best of 5 series, except the final and the matches for third place, where they will be playing the best of 7. For those of you who have no idea what's 4-team double elimination, this is the graphic for you. Hopefully that will help you visualize, and this is the graphic for the 8-team single elimination, so very straightforward. Here are the number of cups you can earn in each stage. There is no change from the previous seasons. I'm talking about the spring season and the autumn season, so you still will earn this amount of cups every previous skill tournament. There are 4 of them in total, and it will run on to the 23rd of July, and then we will be taking a look at the professional tournament, challengers tournament, and the lower echelon championship. That is on the basis of the leaderboard, the cups leaderboard, which I'll be showing from time to time. Top 4 of the professional tournament will go to the Blitz Summer Cup, which will be held from the 11th to the 20th. And the prize pool for each region is $50,000, so it's the same prize pool as the autumn season last year, so that's a lot. Fedelated said he doesn't know any of these teams except Immortals. And Volreka said, hi. Alright, so it's a schedule for July. Just take note of the purple rectangles. These are the dates for the professionals, for the kind of the Blitz Summer Cup imported tournaments, and you also can play with friends. Those are the more casual tournaments for the yellow blobs, as you can see. Brackets tonight, we first will be following Immortals versus Kraken Esports. On paper, Immortals are the favorite teams, but that is not to say Kraken Esports are bad. That is to say, Kraken Esports could still make an upset. They almost managed to qualify to the final of the lower echelon championship last season. They finished short, but they almost knocked out Axe on the 4th previous skill tournament, if you saw my stream in the spring season. So Kraken Esports could absolutely pull off a big upset, but we will see if it's the case. But this is the group of death, because we also have Bluff, which is also known as Ikra, or the Bad Bug team, and they finished 5th in the last season, so you know they are all going to be a great team. They are a mix of players from the CIS region, but most of them are from Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. TUFUA, as the clan tag would suggest, they are from Ukraine, and they'll be facing Cash, which contains a lot of players from Habkey. In the winter season, you can expect Cash to be fighting for a top 8 spot this season. But can they do this? We will find out this season. Vale, again, I think they strengthened this season, and they are definitely looking to finish in the top 8. First up, they are against the INS, which, although they didn't qualify to the lower echelon championship, well, due to their terrible seeding, to be honest with you, they are a strong team. Don't underestimate them. They almost knocked out some of the heavyweights during the previous Q tournaments last season. So so don't underestimate them, that's by all means, and same goes to Immortals. Don't underestimate Kraken Esports. That will put your campaign in peril, especially when Immortals are also looking for another top 8 finish this season. Okay, so the rundown, very straightforward. There are 3 matches to follow. And this is a power rating. Before I continue, I'm just going to enter the room before I forget. Yeah, like 3 minutes remaining to go. Going to have to be quick, otherwise I will miss it. And yes, let me just go to the EU server. Alright, we'll go back to the power rating later. But that is kind of the pre-calibrated version. I mean, I calibrated some matches from the first 2 days of the previous Q tournament. Okay, so sorry for the I wish I could include more options, because certainly I mean, I would say like all 7 clans here could have a chance in getting the first place. So but you do only restricted 4 options here. So muted for now, and just hope that the video will end, because it's lasting for more than a minute. Come on. Oh, whew. Just in time. Oh my god, that was too close to core, too close for comfort. Where is my? There we go. Too close for comfort. Whew. But we are in the room. Let's go back to the power rating. I was a bit scared. Okay, this is the pre-calibrated version. So clans like Turks and ZGS, they don't have like a lot of matches to calibrate, so they could very well rise to the top 16 after tonight. So please take this with a grain of salt, because I pretty much use most of the teams I use like in the from the spring season, and some of them are just newly added, like Legion and ZGS and Turks. I used kind of their rating a couple of seasons ago, and also deducted due to their inactivity. So please take this with a grain of salt, and don't think this is the final top 16. I don't think that will be the case, but take it with a grain of salt as you shall. And we are now in the game. I need to get the sound back up. And we're in. Hello everyone. So this is Immortals red team from the north spawn versus blue team Kraken Esports from the south spawn. And you can see Kraken Esports will commit 4 tanks over to C with 3 tanks near the tracks, and Immortals red team from the north spawn looking to get A from the start with Venue. Join my stream in the grand final of Clan Wars Asia grand final. I don't know, I just repeated grand final, so good to see you playing for Immortals this season. C has been captured, and that will give Kraken Esports the cap lead, as they captured C more quickly than Immortals capturing A. And Cougar in the light tank. This is probably not Cougar, as far as I'm concerned, unless that is the player, the caller, because I heard that this player might have been another one else. So I think Immortals, someone need to confirm this, because I think, if I remember correctly, this is a different one, different player. Just anyone from Immortals, just confirm this news, and that would be great. Immortals are looking to go down to B. They're trying to cap this. They're trying to get the cap lead back. And Kraken Esports, they will have a challenge. They will have to defend their cap lead. And you can see action going on as Kraken Esports trying to clip out Spider. And Spider's taking a lot of hits. And down to one shot. The 50Bs have done their job, but Spider still survives. As one of the 50Bs just bounced one shell, but now he is out of the fight. But Yellow Crayon is also out here. It's now 6 versus 6 as the double Object 777 have now tried to get Pushy out of the way. And things have turned into pandemonium as Lewis Hamilton is also removed from the battlefield by Cougar. And now Pushy struggles to survive. It's now down also. Silas is dead. So this now a 4 versus 4 situation. Both teams have similar hit points, but Immortals do not have the lead. And they are now focusing on Mitsu. If they can remove that player from the battlefield, that would bring it to 4 versus 3. But they still need the hit points back because Kraken Esports are going to play with that. Nis is still on a drum reload in the 50B. And this could be important. If they could prevent that 50B from getting the drum reloaded, that could be big. But now he's fully reloaded, and it's now going to be a 3 versus 3 with Sticky also dead, and it's going to be important. Can Kraken Esports pull this through? The double light tanks of Immortals is going to be hugely crucial as they have a lot of mobility. This is down, and it's now going to be a 3 versus 2 with Marcinek trying to survive, and Sek is out of the way. Bring this fight to a 3 versus 1, and it was super duper close. What a great start for both teams. I mean, Kraken Esports didn't disappoint at all. Didn't disappoint at all. And I must say I'm impressed. This is the quarterfinals, and both teams playing their all with their full effort. I mean, Kraken Esports, hats off to you. That was not a bad start. The focus fire for both teams are brilliant, but I think what brought Immortals over the line is that Immortals had those light tanks still on the battlefield in the late game stages. So that is so crucial because that gave them all the mobility they need and perhaps DPM. But if I remember correctly, Vacan's Light and also T1LT don't boast the best DPM, but the mobility is making it very difficult for those Kraken Esports tanks that are still on the battlefield to kind of, you know, do the 3 versus 3 situation, to do the 3 versus 3 fight. But I must say both teams great focus fire. Immortals decisive move to be I think Kraken Esports, I think which is a little bit unfortunate with the tanks they've lost, the order of the tanks they've lost. So Immortals have also done a great job in keeping the important tanks alive. 1-0. Amazing start for both teams, and I'm very impressed, of course. Amazing start. I don't know what else to add except me being a bit repetitive now. But here we go. Great to see 17 people watching so far. But at the moment, Kraken Esports ranked 20th in my power rating table, which is basically Elo rating, and Immortals is ranked 11th, if I remember correctly. But they got to top 8 last season. But now we'll be back. Immortals, red team from the south spawn, and Kraken Esports blue team from the north spawn. A really unfortunate seeding, to be fair, for both teams. And both teams played really well so far, and can they keep this up? Immortals This time, they're going to send most of the players to the desert side and 2 players near B, with Kraken Esports sending everyone to the desert, to the city side. And they might run into an issue. It's that if Immortals get a cap lead on there, which they probably don't, then Kraken Esports will find it really hard to rotate from the other side. So it's kind of like this duplicate of last battle, in that Kraken Esports have the cap lead in the city side, and Immortals will need to do the rotation. And the thing is, it's a lot easier to rotate from the desert area to the city side, because you're not rotating to the open. In the city, you have a lot of buildings that could act as shield, that could hamper the view range of the tanks. So it makes it a lot harder to defend here. And you also have B, which is kind of like in the depression, which it's which can make defending B a little bit difficult for the tanks without good gun depression. So you can see Immortals, they already have Romeo very close to B. And there's also kind of an isolated tank, but he will have support from Marcinek and Sticky. But can they get there here quickly enough if Romeo gets pushed? And that's a question that Immortals will need an answer to. Kraken Esports, they don't need to do much. They have a cap lead. Why would they need to make a big push? Unless they find an isolated tank, unless they find a weakness in the Immortals setup, and they could absolutely pull off a surprise. But what they've also done well here is that they have conserved hit points well. They haven't bled a lot except for Silas. Meanwhile, Immortals, Kuga, and also Marcinek both bled. That would not be good news for Immortals, because that would make their push a little bit more difficult. But Silas might be in the sticky situation, no pun intended. He's now down to 1,000 hit points and seems to receive a lot of pressure from the Immortals. That's a very far forward. Kuga puts a great shot on the Silas, and Silas down to 2 shot potentially. Immortals decide to make a push right now, and Silas could lose his tank. And that's not what he wants, obviously. And that's not what Kraken Esports want too, because they still have the cap lead, and if they lose Silas, the cap lead will swing back to Immortals and push it. Can he get Silas out of the way? That is the case, and the ball's been dropped. Kraken Esports now trying to make a counter push, but with only 3 tanks against 3 heavies of Immortals. And they are fighting against the strip case as well. Marcinek is now in deep trouble. And Lewis Hamilton's down to 1 shot as well. Both Lewis Hamilton and Marcinek are both down. And Yellow Kraken has been chased down by Van to get ramp killed. And it's now a 6 versus 4 situation. Immortals killing a lot of tanks in quick succession. Kraken Esports, they're struggling to stay alive. Romeo is going to be the focus for Kraken Esports, and Immortals have tagged Nis, and that brings Nis down with a great kill from Sticky. Romeo is also down, and it's now a 5 versus 3. Mitsu's now the focus for Immortals. Push is coming in with a lot of hit points, trying to get Zack out of the way. They just have to divide their work in this situation. 2 versus 1, 2 versus 1. Zack down, Mitsu going to go down very soon. Kuga down, but it's not going to be an issue because it's a 4 versus 1. Immortals have the cap lead, and even if they can't kill the last person standing of the current esports, they will win by caps. And that's not something they should worry about too much, unless we are seeing Chassis killing all 4 tanks in quick succession, and that's not going to happen for sure. Sticky is going to get the kill and bring Immortals to a 2-0. Great job to Immortals. That is a much more decisive victory from Immortals. Great focus fire for Immortals. I think this time Kraken Esports, the focus fire is not as tight as the last battle, but still it's not a battle that Kraken Esports should be disappointed here. But they definitely should reconsider the position of Silas. Maybe it's I think this could be a great position, but maybe in a different tech, kind of something I might suggest here, because IS4 seems to be unable to work with the terrain and the buildings that he has in front of him, and that's thanks to Kuga in that object in that IS7, doing a lot of inflicting a lot of damage to Silas. Had Silas not been able to drop hit points, things could turn out a lot differently. Since Kraken Esports lose Silas, they don't have the cap lead anymore, and they are forced to make a push. And I think this is something Immortals want Kraken Esports to do. They want to elicit a reaction from Kraken Esports to shut down their initial cap lead. So it's a great solid strategy from the Immortals. And now we're going to Winter Mine. Oh, Silas, your internet died. That will probably explain why you're losing a lot of hit points, so I feel very, very sorry for you. Yeah, maybe I'll take that back. Maybe it's not the case of the wrong tank in the wrong position. It's an unfortunate situation with Silas losing the internet, which, especially in a very important match, you don't really want to lose a battle at all. But we are now on to Winter Mine of double checking the scoreline, which I haven't updated. Now I will have updated 2-0 Immortals. Great start for Immortals. They are definitely mounting a top 8 challenge. The next opponent for them will probably be Vale, but you never know whether INS can pull off an upset. But Immortals, red team from the North spawn, they're going to commit their forces over to B and C, and Yellow Crayon, the CVP, I remember him from Crayon clan last season. Crayon actually participated this season, but not with the same team as last season. For those of you who don't know, again, Kraken Esports have the cap lead, and the Immortals are forced to make a rotation. But can they rotate just like they did in the last 2 battles? That doesn't seem to be a problem at all for them. They did manage to find a way to rotate, but B will be a cap that is going to receive lots of attention from both teams. The good thing about B is it will be the leverage for you to get the cap lead, but at the same time you could lose a lot of hit points after capturing B. But Immortals seemingly have made a decision, as they have found Kraken Esports quite spread out, and they have taken out Real Master, and that means Kraken Esports only have 6 tanks to contend with. Immortals immediately make a push. A surprise, I don't see that coming, but I think that could work really, really well. They're now trying to get Mitsu out of the way, to focus on Mitsu, but Romeo goes for Mimic instead. As for Kraken Esports, the Immortals are still very close, so it's not over yet for Kraken Esports, but they have lost another tank, and they will lose another tank soon with Mimic, but big shots onto Venue. But it's a 6 versus 5 situation, potentially 6 versus 4. Romeo puts a shot onto Zek instead, but they don't want to let the guard down for now, because the hit points are still not that far away. Around 1,000 actually, more than 2,000 now. Zach is going to go down, and it's a 6 versus 3 situation. Vaniel will go down. Pushy is down, and that is going to be a 4 versus 3. Yellow Crayon is now on drum reload and will have to run away, but can he run away before Romeo is able to kill him? No, he is unable to run away, and that leaves Silas, the last person standing. What a great job from Immortals. Quite decisive move. Great timing in that push, I have to say. Completely caught me off guard too. I have not seen that coming. And this goes to show Immortals, they are very experienced, and you don't want to write them off just yet in the top 8 fight. And they're through to the semi-final. 3-0. It is the score line. Well done to Immortals. Bright start for them. Kraken Esports, a great start for the first battle, but they steadily lost momentum. And in the third battle, they were caught in a situation where they're still going into positions, but possibly, but maybe they will rework the strategy for this side of this map, because Immortals seem to be cutting through them like butter, and it's something they need to work on. Maybe some changes in the positioning. Maybe they have put too many tanks far forward in the defense. Maybe that's a situation. And I'm sure that the captain of Kraken Esports will rewatch this fight and see where things have gone wrong. I probably haven't captured when Immortals started that push, but they would know better than me in this case. But this is a game that they will definitely be going home and think about. So well done to Immortals, 3-0, and they're through to the semi-final. And that was a scoreline that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a closer scoreline, to be honest with you. But 3-0, a statement from Immortals. I am impressed about this. So well done to Immortals. Please say hello to everyone. Hello to Monk. Hello to Nico. Hello to Angry Toads. Hello to Hatros, Silas, Appa, I think. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Billy, Welshie. Just hello to everyone. Thank you for coming in. Let's take a look at the results of other groups. We have Aqua and also He4, 3-0. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the teams later after I entered all the results. And in group 2 we have Cash 3-0, Immortals 3-0, obviously, as you just saw. TQT, they're waiting for their opponent. Legion and FE69 have all qualified to the semi-final, with Raid 3-0, Bart 3-0 in group 4. Meanwhile, we have group 5, the game's still going on. So 3-0 against Mercy. Yeah, that's all I need to say at the moment. Alright, so a lot of you might be wondering, the EU circuit, I don't know any of these teams, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect from them. And I'm going to update the leaderboard soon, so please bear with me on this. Actually, I'm going to update it now before people start coming in and complaining about the wrong leaderboard. So yes. Yeah, great. Oh, great to see the Kraken Esports guys are saying GG's to Immortals in the chat. But we'd love to see you back. Hopefully you have a better seeding in the next Proof of Skill tournament. I really love to see you in the challenges or the lower echelon championship, or whichever stage you're going to qualify this season. And don't give up, for sure. This is a promising team, but I haven't finished answering the right scores yet, so you still bear with me. There we go. Okay, so you will be seeing the right leaderboard so far. There are 11 teams with the same number of cups at the moment, but more will join them soon as games finish. But of course, you need to know what to expect here. So I said about group 2, you know, Bluff is previously Ikra or the Bedbug team, but let's go to group 3. FE69, most of them were from FaZe from last season. I think they also had some players from the Pink team too. And then you have a Legion, which is now back, but they have a couple of players, a couple of veterans in Legion, and I think some from the Endgame team from last season. I remember. I have to double check that, and also from I think some of them from Rejects from last season too. I think because I saw Tony Kawa there. If I remember correctly, Tony Kawa was from Rejects last season. I don't know exactly, but the main message is that Legion is a really strong team, top 8 contender for sure. Whoopsie is playing in Legion, by the way. If you have not if you have noticed too. Alright, so yeah, definitely Legion, I would say they could very well be contender for top 8. TQT, as you all know, Niku is still there leading the team, but it's with quite different personnel too. The team of TQT from last season, a lot of them are not in TQT anymore, but I'm sure they will perform nicely this season. But they have good seeding this time, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play this season. Maybe one day I will be able to stream your team, but we will find out soon. There we go. Okay, so let's go to group 1. Group 1. Group 1 we have ARWV. You know ARWV from the last season. I don't know why this ARWV logo has not been updated. Oh yes, because I haven't created the new files for them, so I'm going to update the ARWV logo very soon. Just bear with me for that. Things like this happen because they have a new logo. It looks really nice, really great, really awesome. I'm just going to update that now. Okay, hopefully you'll see the new clan logo of ARWV, which you now do. Now we'll also update that to this, the brackets. Yes, you can now see the new logo of ARWV. I mean, as the slideshow will show that group very soon. Okay, so coming up is also I mean, group 1 we also have Unlucky from last season, but I don't know about TXCTM, TRNNT, those guys the moment, because I think previously, like, the captain of Bart was in TRNMT, but then they kind of moved to Bart. So this TRNMT, I'm not sure how strong they are currently, but maybe want to watch. But yeah, He4, group 1, He4. I think I have them noted down about who they previously were. He4. No, I don't. It's a team with some really good players, but exactly how well they're going to perform this season, it's still a mystery. But they will definitely be looking for top 16 for sure. Do I have any more to add for group 3? Let's see. No. I think no. Yeah, I've talked about group 3. FB69, Legion. I mean, this is the same clan logo of the paint team for FB69. And it's just Plants vs Zombies Sunflower with sunglasses logo. Group 4, yes. Raid, MFG, Bart, Quake, Pog. Quake is back. Quake are back. Striker is leading Quake's team this time. It's good. Pog, the clan logo say not Pog, but their clan tag, the team name is still Hurricane. So this is still the Pog team, but of course the personnel is different this time. But they're certainly trying to go for a top 8. They came close last time, but this season they want to go all the way through. So and then we, I mean, yeah, Quick is definitely going to look for a top 8. A raid has been here for a long time, and the personnel hasn't changed much. I mean, it's a great win against MFG. I think the scoreline could have been a bit closer, as MFG knocked out Zenith yesterday. To everyone's surprise, I think Zenith would be one of the finalists, one of the participants on day 3, but they were knocked out by MFG, which is sad, and it's a huge dent to their campaign. But I hope they don't give up, because there are still 3 more previous skill tournaments to go, and very sure they want to get into top 16. They have to perform well in the next 3. And then you have Bot, which you all know, I think they were in the lower echelon championship last season. Did they qualify to the final? I think they did. They didn't. I think Trick knocked them out, if I remember correctly. But yes, I don't think bots have changed a lot. And Group 5, you would say the teams would be I, Rejects, DM, ZGS, and X2. Great to see. Alright, great to see ZGS back. The Socrates, if I remember correctly, they were here a long time ago. But that team was mostly Vale, but this is not Vale's team, because Vale are playing this season. Probably a completely different team. And then you have X2, which is probably not the same Max Akatsuki as last season. But DM, they are back. Of course, I mean, they also sent me their clan logo a couple last season, which is amazing. Rejects had terrible seeding, but they were allocated, fortunately, with a good bracket. So it could have been a lot worse, to be honest with you. Onyx again, team, they strengthened a lot this season, so I won't be surprised if they are challenging for top 8. They are also known as the Onyx Gang team, OGT, as you all know. But yeah, Group 6 we have APA. We all know the reigning champions of the EU server. Zoes are back. The old Zoes are back. They haven't been here for a really long time, so it's amazing to see them back in full force. And OPPAA, you might think this is a random team this season. No, most of them were from Noxu, who won challenges tournament last season. Don't write them out for a top 8 finish. I would count them as a serious top 8 contender. Don't write OPPAA, Opa, out of the way. Don't at all. They also upset everyone to win the challenges tournament last season. I mean, who would have thought Noxu to be winning the challenges tournament with the likes of Raid, Vale, Akatsuki, Isra, etc., Pog. I mean, Noxu just came up with nowhere and won the challenges tournament. So who is not to say they can get the top 8 this time? But there's also another veteran team coming back, Turks, the Turks team. Most of them were from the old Turks. I think Mer and Mess played the season, and there is I think Masswitch Starman also playing. Great to see them back. They were like top 8 material back then, so but after a really long time not playing, can they get to top 8? Because the EU server nowadays is in a much better shape than what the EU server is a couple of years ago. So this is certainly not an easy one for Turks, but I do think they're going to be challenging for that top 8 too, so don't write them off too. So amazed to see them back. Immortals missing from my leaderboard, which is interesting. Oh yes, because I forgot to put there. Yes. Oh yeah, now it's here. Sorry. Immortals, I forgot to put the right number of cups. All right, so we have more teams coming in. More teams coming in. TRNM T1 3-1 against TXCTM, and they're now through to the semi-final. Okay, and Unlucky 3-1 against Reina, and they will be facing each other. Unlucky versus TRNMT. Vale 3-1 against INS, and I told you INS are not going to give up. They're just crippled by terrible seeding. I hope they will get to low echelon championship in the end, because they are not a team to underestimate at all. S will through in group 3. Quick and Porgal both through 3-1. So no surprises here. Rejects 3-2 against DM. That was really close. A tiebreaker. ZGS 3-2 against WN7ED. Again, another team that you don't want to underestimate. Axe 2 3-2 against 7 Dogs. So everything ended in the tiebreaker for Group 5. And then we have Oka 3-1 and Turks 3-1. So no surprises here for all the groups. You would expect all of these teams to go through, except maybe TRNMT and also TXCTM. I don't know well about both of these teams, so well done to everyone so far. Great job. So I'm going to update the leaderboard now, but I'll have to take have a good look at the time. But I will have to add TRNM because they are qualified to the leaderboard as well. And I have to say where they finished yesterday and 2 days earlier. Second place was second day. First day. Where are you? First place on the first day. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we will now have the new leaderboard. Mind you. Hi, Mate, how are you doing? And the poll now. Basically, all the teams that are in the poll have all qualified to the semi-final, but you're saying Immortals will get the first place tonight. 46% of you, or actually 45%. So I'm seeing here. 22% of you are saying Bluff will get the first place. My money will be on Bluff too. Vale, 20% of you are saying they're going to get the first place. Cash, only 11% of you are saying they're going to get the first place. But don't write them off. They can surprise everyone out of nowhere, and maybe the next thing they've beaten Bluff and qualify to the final. Things like that could happen. Don't write them off. But yes, Vale versus Immortals. Oh my god. I have to oh no, the time is not here. Oh, sorry, Kraken Esports. Lewis Hamilton sent me a friend request. So no, the room is not up yet. So I was a bit paranoid. It's not the case. Okay. So after updating leaderboard, there are at least 20 teams with the same number of cups. So I can't extend table below that because it will take up too much space, and it's not good look. However, for some of you who are watching, feel free to send me your clan logo if your clan does not have a clan logo in this stream. The likes of like S-Will, Key4, INS, I would very much welcome your clan logo. Just drop me your clan logo on my Discord on my Discord direct messaging, and I will happy to include your clan logo. And obviously, don't send me inappropriate stuff. But rest assured, I hope you might fancy a clan logo on the stream, because who won't? Who doesn't? So yeah. So again, let me double check how many teams are tied in the first place. 20 actually, 20 exactly. 20 exact teams tied here. So they are all APA, Bart, Akva, Zegius, Glattis, Turks, S-Will, FV69, So's, Quick, Paul, Cash, Vale, Opa, Immortals, Legion, Raid, TQT, Rejects, and Heefus, and sorry for the burp. Okay. So, while you wait, I will just update my power rating. Okay, so only 8 minutes remaining to go, and we'll go in. We'll go in soon. Eight minutes to go. Definitely no time for another fight. Once again, your semi-finalists for tonight are Group 2, Bluff versus Cash, Vale versus Immortals. Group 3, TKT versus S-Will. People from S-Will, if you're watching this stream, feel free to send me your clan logo. Legion versus FB69. Group 4, we have Quick versus Pork, and Raid versus Bart on the other side. Group 5, we have Onyx Gang team versus Rejects, ZGS versus X2. Group 6, we have APA versus Soaps, and Opa versus Turks. Finally, Group 1, we have Unlucky versus TRNMT, and ARWV versus He4. And if you're from the clan He4, don't hesitate to send me your clan logo. So you might find me annoying for saying this every single time when you don't have a clan logo. So do send me yours if you don't want me to be annoying on stream. And again, 20 exact teams with the same number of cups. That will change, because there are only 6 groups. Only 12 teams can qualify for the finals. So some of them will drop cups. And for example, APA and SOS, either one of them will not have the same number of cups after this fight. So we'll get this. We don't know. The room will be up very soon. Just waiting for this to come up, which will be in any second now. And hopefully we can rally everyone back to the stream. Hey, there we go. Room is up. Vale versus Immortals. Molendijk is the map here. And this Vale team is going to be really strong. Immortals is strong too. So this is a highly unfortunate seeding. I think this is going to be one of the toughest semi-final tonight, and we're following this, so it's good to see that. But I'm not going to show you the room for now, because we have to wait until the 3-minute mark, because there is only a 3-minute delay. If I get into the room now, teams will be able to see the lineup of the other team, and that's not what Talia wants. Talia would take me off the stream if I do that, so I will not make this mistake. Immortals, and Vale, how are you all doing? Great. So we have Immortals. Almost ready. We're almost 3 minutes in. To go to the room soon. Vale. Let's go. Vale are ready. Immortals are almost ready. You might have seen teams taking the object 777. Particularly on the APAC server during the Clan Wars Asia tournaments, and thanks to that I know a bit more about the Object 777. Has some good armor, but in terms of the speed and so on, Strift K would dominate. So I heard someone said against the really top teams, you might want to counter them, counter their Strift Ks, maybe taking the Strift Ks to reduce the efficiency of their DPM and their mobility. And against the weaker teams, you might be able to get more bounces with this Object 777. But clearly, the Object 777 is not favored here, as only Venue is taking this tank. Both teams have taken double Strift Ks, but Vale will take triple 60 TPs, 1 MLE and a T100 LT. Immortals will take no MLEs, but they will take 2 super conquerors instead, and an I7. So it's good to see some variety in the tank types they're taking. But Molendyke is quite a large map, or maybe that's not the right word, because Morgan once said all the teams are made with equal size. So maybe the better term will be Molendyke feels perceptionally bigger. Maybe because there is like a huge open area in the northwestern part of the map, and not a lot of buildings to act as obstacle or the no-go places. So I'm interested. Vale's lineup certainly looks like a city strat. I think they will suffer playing on the northwestern corner. As for Immortals, on the other hand, I think they could be a bit more flexible. So I do think Immortals might have the upper hand in the setup, but you never know how Vale is going to play with their strategy. They could go extremely aggressive and take out a couple of tanks right at the beginning, or just grab that map advantage, the map control right at the beginning. So and the cap control will be very important with this setup for Vale. If they can grab that, then the 60Ps are great tanks for defending due to their high alpha and good armor, but they suffer from DPM. So if they are forced to a brawl, they are probably going to be an issue, especially when the ammo rack of the 60TP is notoriously weak. In that sense, not that if you aim that ammo rack that will blow the entire tank up, it's that the ammo rack direct ammo rack chance of a 60TP is one of the highest in the game, if you see what I mean. So with that out of the way, let's see where both teams are going to go. Vale, red team from the south spawn, will send most of the tanks, just as I said, over to C. On the other hand, Immortals are going to commit to C, but these tanks they're taking, they might suffer, because unlike the 60TPs, the frontal armor of these tanks of Immortals have apparent weaknesses, so they have to be really careful. Kuga in the T100 LT is going to get a lot of spots for the team, and spots both Vamon and tackles. And we are seeing Immortals going quite aggressive over to C. Vale being quite defensive right at the beginning, but they will lose the cap advantage, and that is going to be something that they don't want to happen, because they will now have to rotate, and with the 60Ps they might struggle. I don't know. We will see. We will see about this. This is going to be an interesting one. Immortals have the cap lead. They might be wondering what. I think they might be expecting they don't have a cap lead here. They won't get a cap lead here, but they do have a cap lead. So things might have thrown into a different orbit for Immortals. They might not know how to respond to that, but on paper they have the cap lead, so that's going to give them the advantage. And they'll have to find a way to chip away the hit points of Vale. A is going to be captured by Vengeance, and that will bridge. That would not bridge the gap in terms of the cap points, but that will stop the gap from widening. But we are now going to be seeing Immortals going to make a push onto Kawado, but I think this push is going to be intercepted as Vale are on high ground, and that is going to be crucial. Immortals, they might have dropped the ball here. 3 tanks on in the valley and Vale on the high ground. They have lost so many hit points in this push, and they have not committed to this push either. They think that is a bad idea, and I do think I am inclined to agree. But can they stop dropping hit points? It is going to be hard because Vale are now going to make a counter push. But Wild Animal has now come from the backside, looking to put a couple of shots onto the 60 TPs, but that shot missed. Pushy is now getting pushed by the double 60 TPs, with Immortals scrambling for support, scrambling to find a weakness. In Vale set up, they might have located Vengeance, isolated. Pushy is out of the way, and it's now a 7 versus 6 situation. Vale with more hit points compared to Immortals. The lead is more than 3k at this point. Maybe not more than 3k, more than 2k. So Vasset is going to go down. Rameo down. Kawado down. Vasset is also down, and it's now 6 versus 4. Vengeance also down. Tapkos down to a 1-shot. Removed from the battlefield, leaving Marcinak next target that Vale wants to go for. And oh dear me, Vale had an idea here. It might not look reasonable at all with what they are taking, the tanks, and what their play style would be, but it worked for them, and that is largely due to Immortals' failed push down the bridge here. That meant those 3 tanks stuck on the low ground, received a lot of shots from Vale. And General Overkill is down, Cougar down. That leaves Wild Animal, the last person standing, and wow. What a beginning for Vale. Impressive stuff. The Immortals, they are missing that kind of tactical acumen from the last battle. Last battle they got most of the things right, but this time they got one thing horribly wrong, and that is they pushed with 3 tanks down the low ground and without much support from their right hand side. That allowed Vale to make use of the high ground to farm the tanks trying to rush from below. So it was a push that was dealt with nicely by Vale. Immortals would regret pushing at that situation, and they also have the cap lead. They don't need to make that push. They were trying to surprise Vale, but it backfired completely. So you can argue Immortals should not have made that call. That call is not a good call to begin with. But you can also argue that Vale are in the right positions to stop that situation from happening, and they dealt with that situation really well. So it's now 1-0 in favor of Vale. And in this case, Vale wins the next 2-1, they will qualify to the final, and that will send Immortals to the match for 3rd place. And we will find out whether Immortals are going to win the next battle. Both teams are closely matched, but Vale looks definitely the better team in the last battle. And we're going back to Molendijk, so great stuff for Vale. Are they going to use the same strategy? We will find out now. And what will Immortals do? Are they going to push on a different side? Hi to Julian and Tommy. How are you all doing in the chat? Thank you for coming in. And this player right here, I think this is not an appropriate nickname. I might have to, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with that, but let's focus here. Vengeance in the Sheridan. It's going down here. It's going to get spots. Spotted a couple of tanks. And they are seeing Immortals going for A this time. And C is going to be captured by Tacos. That will give Vale the cap lead. And Vengeance capturing B unopposed. That will also give them a cap lead. And with Immortals only getting 1 cap compared to Vale with 2, pressures mounting onto them. Vebon and also Kawado is near their spawn to see if Immortals going to push all the way to Vale's spawn. And at the moment, it's not the case. And the double strip case are rotating away from the spawn, knowing that they just have to defend both B and C, and that will be enough. So the strip case don't have to isolate themselves, but they might run into the issue of a push coming from A, getting unattended. So what Vale is going to do now is going to send Vengeance to that same location that the double strip case took previously. He will be important to see when Immortals is going to push on A. But at the moment, we're seeing Immortals are not going to do that. They're going to go back to the spawn. Romeo was spotted. That probably will send a signal to Vale that that Immortals might be coming for C. So something that they might have to prepare. The strip case have now rotated back to the spawn, knowing that the A area might be empty, and they might be in position to support Vengeance if Vengeance decides to go for A. But they don't have to go for A because they have the cap lead. They have 2 caps, mind you. Again, we're almost approaching to 800 cap points, and now Immortals have made a call to push on to C and take that cap back. And what will Vale do? Vale have to drop the low hit points while defending, so that's good news, but they're going to lose C imminently. And B is not going to last for long. Push is going for that. And Vale seems to be at loss at the moment. They're not pushing. They've allowed Immortals to cap C. And they might be allowed Immortals to cap B. And they are going to lose that 60 TP2. And Spider gets Emerald. When did it happen? I don't know. But this is going to be important in the late game phases. But Kuga is down. It's now a 6 versus 5. Immortals do not have the numerical advantage, and they do not possess the hit points as well. Things are really tight. Kawado is now dead. It's now 5 versus 5. It's very chaotic at the moment. Machinek looking to get a shot onto Vabon instead. And Tacos will be dealt with by Vandu. It's a 4 versus 5. It's still really close. Immortals are feeling the victory in proximity. But Vabon gets a kill with the Machinex. Now 4 versus 3. Maxon is going to go down. Vabon's dead. 3 versus 3. Cap points are still in favor of Vale, but not much. Immortals, they're trying to get C, but Vale gets feedback. This matters a lot. Immortals with a huge hit point pool advantage, but they can't get C. They can't get C. Romeo gets a kill onto Patrick, and it's now a 2 versus 3. C is going to be captured by Immortals. Can they get that cap? A and C are still under the hands of Immortals. Romeo gets A, but there is a lot. But Immortals have more cap points than Vale. Vale is struggling to survive. A will be captured by Vale very soon, and the question is, can Immortals get B? Romeo will try to get B, but Vale will have 2 caps now. But is there going to be enough time for Vale to win by caps? I don't think so. Immortals, they don't lose a single tank. They will get this battle, and they do. Immortals bring one back. The scoreline is now 1-1. What a game. What's a battle? Very close. The question here is, Vale, what are they thinking when Immortals are going to capture A and B? Obviously, they are under a big numerical disadvantage over to B, and that doesn't seem to be communicated effectively. And that meant the tanks over to A aren't responding quickly enough. And that allowed Immortals to get 3 caps at one point, and that really puts a lot more pressure on Vale that they are supposed to. I mean, they shouldn't have put themselves in such dire situation to begin with. So there must have been some communication issues over to the Vale side there when Immortals are trying to get hold of B and C. But let's continue because it's still a really tight one. But have they responded to the cap on C a lot better than I think this is not going to be the outcome. I think Vale might have got another win. It's now 1-1. Immortals well-deservingly getting a battle back. With the strategy on capping the bases during the mid to late game phases. Now we're going to Lagoon, the newest map released, and I don't know what to expect here. But if you play randoms, you might have noticed there's a really great platform that you can go to in the southeastern corner. That with a tank that is made for how down. That platform right there will give you a lot of shots, and if you can make use of that platform well in the southeastern corner, it will be very hard to do stuff near the southeastern area. At the same time, the middle area is going to be hugely crucial. You might go for A or C, but if you don't pay attention to B, you might get flanked. So this is something you might want to be careful of, and I think this is going to be an important position to take note of. As it stands, Vale will take double TVPs, and once will be no one going to this platform here. Maybe Vengeance will take that platform. No, they're going past that. Oh no, they're going to take that platform. And they're trying to get they're trying to get a cap lead, and you might see the TVPs here might get a lot of information and map control. Romeo is spotted, and Vale will get a cap lead on C at the start, and Immortals will try to get A soon after. That will stop the gap from widening and put them at only one tank from flipping cap points. But yes, sorry, it's a great start for Vale as they have the cap lead. But they will need to defend that. A B will be important. You have to defend, and not much is happening right now. The cap point increase is only 3. Actually, as you can see, 3 cap points for 2 seconds of increase. So we might have a cap steer situation, but the TVP is taking this platform here is going to be so important. They have to coordinate well, but this is a position that you really need to be careful of, especially when you don't have cap lead and need to take hold of C. So I do sense that Vale will make use of this. Let's look at tackles in this TVP. Spotted Spider, and I think the message that is telegraphed is Immortals making a push back to push to C. Great shot from Pushy. That's quite a suspicious name, to be honest with you. Good shot onto tacos. And Taco's going to take another hit. But Vale, can they keep this up? I mean, Vengeance bounced, I think, 2 shots on the heavy tanks. but Kuga tries to go up to prevent the TVPs from getting too much control into the platform. And they still have the hit point advantage, but Kuga has lost so many hit points here. Tackles, it's going to try and kill Kuga out of the way, but it's like a big HE shell. 2 HE shells taken, 4 tackles now down to 1 shot. And Immortals are now trying to get both Vabon and I'm about out of the way. Vabon's like, no, I'm not going to deal with those heavy tanks, and he will run away. And Romeo is down, so that leaves 5 tanks remaining for Immortals, but hit points are still very close. But the numerical advantage that the Vale possesses is going to be hugely crucial in this stage, especially when the TVPs still have to perform under control. Kawano gets kill over to Venue, and Push is going to try to put a shot onto General. Vasset is now down, and it's a 6 versus 3 situation, but Kawano, big HE shell to the backside of Push, and Push is now out of the fight, leaving 2 tanks remaining for Immortals, and the TVPs that are still controlling the platform are still alive. So this goes on to show how important it is to take hold of this platform, especially when you're having the cap advantage. So sorry about that. Forgot to change the scene, but there we go. 2-1 in favor of Vale. And there we go. Looking at the damage done by Vale, 6 tanks doing more than 2k, 1 tank doing more than 2k for Immortals. So amazing stuff from Vale. Taking that platform so important. Immortals almost got one of the TVPs out of the way, but the double TVPs did more than 5k in total. Goes on to show how important it is to hold that platform, especially and also the cap lead over there. It does look like Vale is more prepared on this map than Immortals are. And now Vale is on the map. Vale is on the match point. That is going to give them a lot of leverage coming to the next one. Next battle on Lagoon. So, now Lagoon, we're back on Lagoon. Vale will take double Super Conquerors, double TVPs in the MLE, double 777. Immortals, triple Object 777. Strip K, Vaxxed in the MLE, and double TVPs for Immortals. I think they're trying to replicate what Vale is doing this time. And the platform will be very important. This is going to be the where all the actions going to happen, going to unfold. 2-1, the scoreline, and Immortals have to win the next one to bring it to tiebreaker. Will we see a tiebreaker here? We will find out in the next one. Now let's go in. Lagoon. Vale this time from the south spawn with Immortals from the north spawn. Let's find out where both these going here.
Time to roll out.
So yeah, Vale. TVPs are going to be the platform. It's so important it's time. Oh, Kuga crashes into the rock, but they're also taking that platform using this route. And they spotted no one going to see so far, but with Vale not taking hold of the platform right at the beginning, this is going to be an issue for them later on. And Immortals are going to take hold of both B and C, and this is going to matter a lot. This is going to pile of pressure on Vale, and they've already lost some hit points with Amabel. Good shot onto Kuga, but at the same time, Amabel also lost so many hit points here. But Machinek up there, and he used the gun depression onto the tanks that are below him. At the moment, not. But we might see a push coming in from Vale down the middle side, and all the actions now unfolding around this area. Romeo, great shot to Kawano. Kawano on fire and able to extinguish the fire at the moment. The hit points are still in huge favor of Immortals, but maybe not now, because we might see the first tank down for Vale. Vale is going to lose their first tank. And that will be Kawano, and I'm about is also dead. Vibon is also dead, and it's now 4 versus 7. Cougar is down to 591 hit points, and General is out of the fight. And Vengeance chasing down Cougar. Another shot onto Cougar. Vengeance is he going to land another one? Bounces the next one, but we'll get the final shell onto Cougar, but he himself will not survive. Spider is out, and it's a 2 versus 5. Certainly, this battle is going to go to Immortals, and once again showing how important it is to take control of this over this platform. This time, Immortals gained control over the platform here, which allowed them to make use of this area and gain map control. Basically, Patrick is not going to last for longer. He's down to 1 shot, and that round was not enough to kill Patrick, but now a shot from Marcinak will. 2-2 is the scoreline, and we are going to a tiebreaker. Well done to Immortals. That is a hugely important win for Immortals. They really need that. 5 tanks doing more than 2k for Immortals, and Vale. Only 1 tank doing more than 2k. That is Patrick. And let's go back to the room. We're going to Normandy. Cool. This is the most important fight of the night. That will dictate their top 8 fate. Because if Vale, if one of them fails to qualify to the final, their hopes in getting top 8 are lowered. So they really need to get to the final. And I have to remind you, there are 6 groups. There are 6 groups, and there are 12 spots in the final in total. So if you don't get to the final, then you're not going to finish in the top 12 tonight, and that will put you off to a tough start. And none of them would want that, because both of them are top 8 contenders. And of course, the seeding is not going to be perfect, but they really need to get a great result tonight. So win is a must for them. So let's go to Normandy here. Vale versus Immortals. Vale will have triple Super Conquerors, double Strift Case, and double Object 777. On the other hand, Immortals, we have double Strift Case, double Object 777. A 215 be a Super Conqueror, and Cougar potentially driving the TPP, no, IS7 instead. It's all about this fight here. 2-2. Tiebreaker. Who will win the tiebreaker and qualify to the final? We'll find out soon. And let's get up high and see where both is going to go. So Vale rectangle from the south spawn. They're going to commit their forces over to C, I think. With Immortals on the other hand, going to send tanks over to D, and I think Vengeance will get to C more quickly than Immortals getting to D. And that will give Vale the cap lead. And Cougar will get D. And that will put them at touching distance with the caps. And I think we'll get probably down here, because the next thing teams we're going to take a look at will be A. And this cap is currently unguarded by both teams. It's possible we might see a push coming from either of the team, but they don't want to be too reckless, because this is the game, this is the battle that is going to dictate whether they're going to be having a much harder time in the top 2 or not. And they don't want to make any major mistakes, and certainly They don't want to make a push that they don't know a lot of information in the positions that the other team are taking at the moment. So they're playing, both of them are playing this carefully. Both of them are obtaining information. Vale took a hit, but that is not going to be enough to give Immortals to win. The inputs are still really close, however, and it really all depends. A is the cap that is possible to be taken, and both teams will want that. B will be hard to get. It's right out in the open. You can't really get that cap, and it's a 4-cap map. 3 cappers per 2 seconds of increase. We could very well see all 7 minutes being used at this rate, and I have to say, we might not have a lot of time for break in the end. So let's see what Vale, not what Immortals are going to do. Immortals, they're the team that need to make a rotation, not Vale. Vale have the cap lead, not Immortals. Immortals put another good shell onto General Overkill. Good shell onto Carwado, and Immortals doing a good job in chipping away hit points off Vale, but Vale also keeping this up. So they have put shots onto Push and Romeo. And there we go. Vabon taking the hit already. I think it was General Overkill that took the hit, I don't know. Well, actually none of them have taken the hit after the last one. What will Immortals do? Immortals, are they stacking up in the array? Venu would try his luck, but I'm about also lost some hit points here. Vengeance is spotted. Venu is spotted. Vengeance. Great shot to reset Venu with an HG splash. It's a kind of a high roll in terms of HG splash. Venu can't get that cap. He's going to get out of the way. Vengeance takes another one. So Vengeance have done a great job in prohibiting Immortals from getting the A cap. And we only have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and still a lot of time. All 7 minutes could still be used, and I think things could rapidly deteriorate in the last minute or two. But it appears that Immortals are stacking up near C. They're potentially rotating to C. I think they're going to make a push. But they've been stopped. They have been taken care of, and Vale are chipping away hit points, but they haven't chipped enough hit points away. They themselves also lost some hit points, and they're trying to make use of the B area. And this is going to be important because the Super Conquerors, they could get pushed out of the way, and it's 2v1 over here. At the same time, Patrick is in deep trouble, and it's all about which team can get the shots in more effectively, who can get the shots first. And it seems the Super Conquerors have been taken care of. Push might go down, but they will also lose a tank there. Patrick is down. General Overkill has been taken out of the fight. Kawado can't bounce a shell, but it's going to be about getting the kill on Pushy. And we're also seeing Kawado down. Romeo, 1 shot. Kuga also very low. 4 versus 5 at the moment. And Kuga is out. If 4 versus 4, hit points still very close. About is very low, and it's the focus that Immortals want to go for, but at the same time Spider is also quite low. Taco's good shot there. The ball is going to be the next tank for Immortals. Can Vale get this over the line? Spider is out, Venu out, Vabon out. 2v2. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go, and things could still change. Great shots from Immortals onto Tacos. I think that could take away how things could work, but at the moment, Vale with more DVM, I think pressure will be on Immortals down. Can they prevent the Strift case from doing so much? Vengeance takes a hit. Vacid gets tracked. Oh dear, oh dear. Vengeance has to make a good shot onto Vacid, and he does. Marchina, good shot onto Tacos. Vacid, good shot onto Vacid, but Vacid goes down to Vengeance. It's 2 versus 1. Marchinak gets Tacos out of the way, leaving Vengeance the last brother standing. Marchinak the last brother standing. Vengeance can't bounce a shot. Gets tracked. Has no repair kit. Marchinak, great shot. Gets tracked again. Marchinak, will he be the hero of Immortals tonight? But he misses the shot. Vengeance coming in for a good shot, leaving Martinek to 3 hit points. But Vengeance takes a hit from Martinek. Who will reload first? Vengeance receives a HE splash and only manages. Oh no. Martinek gets the kill on the Vengeance, and that sends Vale to the match for 3rd place at Immortals. Dude, the final. Oh my god, that was so close. I thought Vale has this one, but what on earth? Both teams trying their best with their focus fire. But Immortals responded well to what Vale was doing, and Vale as well. It was just tantalizing because one bounce would change everything, would change the outcome of this battle. I'm afraid this has been this has been a fight that should have happened in the final. It was super duper close, and well done to Immortals. They are now through to the final. Vale will feel really gutted after a really strong start and an amazing performance against Immortals on the first battle of Lagoon. What can I say? It's heartbreaking for sure for Vale, and I hope they can come back stronger. But don't think they're out of top 8. They mathematically still could get a top 8, but this is going to become a lot more difficult in the next couple of previous skill tournaments. But I feel really sorry for Vale. They played their hearts out tonight, but this seeding is not meant to be for them. Unlucky 3-0, Aqua 3-1 against E4. And that means Unlucky will face E4 in the final. Meanwhile, Bluff 3-1 against Cash, and Bluff will face Immortals in the grand final. TQT won 3-1 against S-Will, and Legion won 3-1 against FV69, and that will mean TQT and Legion are through to the final. Quake 3-1 against Pork, and Raid 3-1 against Bart, and Group 4 we have Quake against Raid in the final. Rejects 3-2 against Onyx Gan Team I. It was another close one, tiebreaker for Rejects. Socrates 3-2 against Axe 2, and they're through to the final with APA 3-0 against Zeus, and Opa 3-1 against Turks. B-name we are seeing the following finalists: Unlucky Akva, Bluff Immortals, TQT Legion, Quick Raid, Rejects, Zocrates, and APA Opa. Ooh. Appears that there is something wrong with final. It's not it's only showing 3 bats. I'll be back. We'll see if Tolia will fix this, but it's been 8 minutes. There is some issue with this. Oh no, it's not. No. Maybe it's just oh, battle for 3rd place. Okay, so there is some issue. Okay, so the battle for 3rd place have the wrong best of format. Okay, so this needs to be fixed in the next one. All right, I have to go to the toilet because I need to deal with my nose. I am struggling. All right, I am back. Let me just. All right, so we have that. Okay, so it's been fixed for grand final, but unfortunately the battle for third place has been done. So we'll see if Wargaming might do something about this. So it might just yeah, it was a glitch, so to be careful. It will be fixed in the next Hero Skill tournament, so don't worry about that. Yes. But as expected, I don't think we have seen a huge upset here. And we will update the leaderboard as well. I'll be right back. Let's see. After the games, the leaderboard. We know the finalists of all the groups. Alright, so this is the new leaderboard. We only have 9 clans with the same number of cups. Bluff, however, is not here because they finished second yesterday. But why are they not here? Because I haven't included their cups for some reason. That will be fixed now. I also forgot to add Immortals cups, so now this should be correct. There are 10 teams with the same number of cups. They are APA, Rejects, DQT, Raid, Legion, Immortals, Oppa, Quick, Akva, and ZGS, Zoglatis. Yesterday, Bluff and Lucky lost their grand final in stage 2, so they are tied with 11th in the 11th place with 10,226 cups. But After tonight, this number will reduce to potentially only 5. I mean, at most only 6 clans will have the same number of cups. So if you finish second, it's not the end of the world. Yes, you could still be in the top 8. It all depends on the next couple of previous skill tournaments. But the room will be up very soon. And yeah, excited to see Bluff versus Immortals. Immortals worked really hard in the against Vale, and now Bluff is going to be the strongest opponent yet. On the other hand, yeah, room should be up now. We'll go in. I hope Wargaming is not going to bombard me with the Retrotopia stuff again. That was loud, and I can't skip those. So please don't show me those stuff. Yes, I'm not showing those stuff. And the room is up, so I'm going in, and it's Oasis Farms. We are following Bluff. After not qualifying to the top 4 last season, they're certainly looking for that. They last entered top 4 in the autumn season. Despite having huge odds in qualifying, they didn't qualify to the top 4 in the winter season, and they also didn't qualify to the top 4 in the spring season either. This is possibly one of their best chances to get to top 4 after Endgame are not playing this season, and they're next in line basically. Can they do it and get top 4? Immortals are almost ready, and so is Bluff, but we are not going to the room just yet. Otherwise, I'll be fired, of course. But we'll see something soon. And do we have results? Oh, we do have Park winning 3-0 against Bart in group 4. We already have our first result. And that means Park will get 3rd place, and let's take a look at the leaderboard as we speak. Park will now be in the 13th place with 10,112 cups. In the 13th place, at least in the top 16 for tonight. So not the worst start for the Pork team, but getting to the top 8 will be difficult. And it all relies on the seeding of some of the teams in the remaining previous go to tournament seasons, especially this season. A lot of the teams are contending for that top 8, so not qualifying to the final is going to be huge. Anyhow, both teams are almost ready. Let's go to the room now. Immortals, we are seeing triple Object 777, a Strip K97, an MLE, and a 200 LT with Bluff going for a triple Strip Ks. Reposovsk MLE, Let 2125 Water, 60 TP, and Yevgeny 90.01p potentially. Oasis Palms is quite an open map, so I do like to see some medium lights to get information right at the beginning, and this is exactly why Kuga is taking the 200 LTs to really obtain information to where most of the tanks of Bluff are right at the beginning. And whether Yevgeny is going to follow suit with a light tank too, it's going to be a question, but no, he's going to take a VK 90.01p instead. And they're potentially running into this risk of having no light tanks to spot and run around to provide information. And Oasis Palms, you really want that tank. It's an open map. Although it's not rare to see teams not taking a light tank, even the best teams, they sometimes don't take a light tank. And that is more to do with most of the strategy leaning to the AP side. They're trying to get authority over their areas, and maybe this is why some of the teams don't take a light tank at all, because the northwestern area isn't really that open, and light tank would just be a bit useless in this situation. But I do stand my case. I do think a light tank is really helpful on Oasis part. Let's say if Immortals is going to get away with it with the only light tank in this fight. Let's say, oh, Immortals, you don't want to play with 6 players? You're playing with 7. Great. Oasis pops. Off we go. Oh, Immortals dropping 1 object 777. I think in favor of that nice 7 here. Let's say Bluff without a light tank. They have the hit point advantage, however. But that's... Is this going to be... I mean, it all relies on Puga now. Puga will have to prove that a light tank is going to be hugely crucial in this fight. It's going to get spots right at the beginning. Spots are nothing, but there's still information. That's going to tell Immortals that most of the tanks of Love will be positioned near A and B. There's Pos that is sitting very close, very deep. Next to the spawn, looking to reset C, and Kuga isn't going for C at the moment, but if Bluff senses the C cap being taken, then maybe they will go for a push on A. We don't know. I think that could possibly happen, but Bluff, are they going to make a push on A? Seems like so. Seems like there are a couple of tanks going for A now. Immortals still holding because... Oh, they're abandoning C. They think that Bluff's getting aggressive now, so Bluff has dropped a couple of hit points, but Immortals dropped even more hit points. And Water getting quite close to Wild Animal, big shot onto Wild Animal. And Immortals is feeling the pressure. They're now defending, forced to defend. The light tank of Kuga will need to start coming in. And Immortals need to keep Bluff at bay as much as possible. But they're not having the hit point pool advantage at the moment. Marchinek is the first tank down. And Bluff is looking for push next. Push is now in deep trouble. It's now on fire, and it's not going to last for long. Rippleton gets the kill over to push. And Let Tool is down as well. Pause is really low at the moment, and Wild Animal is the next turn out. It's now a 6 versus 4. Pause will be taken out by Vanu. And we also have Romeo very low. It's now a 5 versus 4. Vanu is out of the fight. The hit points are a huge favor of Bluff. And that's it. It's still really healthy. And Immortals, the focus fire of Bluff is on point. Not much to fault. And Immortals, the focus fire is not that bad. But they are focusing more tanks than Bluff does. And because Bluff is just keeping their force so tightly knitted with one another, it's just not that difficult for them to just call for that focus fire. And that leaves Immortals, Kuga, the last person standing up. Bluff will get the first battle, and that brings Bluff their first victory of the night. In the final, 1-0 it is for Bluff. Well done to Bluff. You can look at the damage done by Bluff. There's 5 tanks doing more than 2k. Immortals, unfortunately, that light tank did more than 2k, but they were unable to defend nicely. And Bluff really took care of their horizontal straight line. And not to say, I mean, the most important part is the focus fire. Very clinical focus fire displayed by Bluff. You really cannot fault their focus fire here. It's totally on point. 1-0 for Bluff, and as for Immortals, they are struggling. And I know they can't really get too aggressive. But Bluff knows that they have to share the hit points equally and also do some damage to Immortals. Their push is just I think really good push from Bluff. Well, you can argue about the timing, but I mean, maybe put it this way: their timing is not the most important factor in this push. It's more about the formation, their focus fire. These two factors are what bring them the victory in the first place. Immortals, Kuga will keep that T100 LT, but Bluff has proven to us that you don't really need a light tank to win Oasis Palms. You just have to get aggressive with a full heavy setup. You also have that superior hit point pool advantage right at the beginning. Immortals have done well to bridge that gap. They were at one point very close, but Bluff, you just cannot underestimate their focus fire at all. And now we're back. Oasis Palms on this side. 1-0 for Bluff. Almost stepped on the wire, almost just tripped the wire and disconnect my headphones, but it didn't happen.
Time to roll out.
So this time, let's see. Bluff will take a little medium tank to counter that light tank. It's great to see them taking a medium or light, but we will see what they're going to do with that. Immortals, on the other hand, going to send most of the tanks over to AB. The light tank is not. It's going to go straight to B, I wonder. Yeah, I think he is doing that. B will be captured by Kuga, and then Bluff will be unable to get saved. They are not resetting A and B, and that gives Bluff lots of pressure now. Because Immortals, they have both A and B, and they have a solid cap advantage. Not a lot of time left for Bluff to respawn again, do the maths. Just about 2 minutes for them to react, basically. You really don't have a lot of time to think about what to do. So they're going to spread going to push forward a bit, hold down near B, near this kind of the rich line here. And Immortals, they will be taking a close look at the A and B, and some of the tanks will be taking a close at the flanks. But Bluff might be redirecting their strict case back to the spawn, and they are potentially mounted push over to A. C will be captured by Bluff to minimize the gap increase of in terms of caps, but they will have to get the caps back in order to get back a cap lead, not kills. Although you can kill all 7 and win the game, obviously. Let 2 has taken a couple hits, so Immortals are defending well, but now the strip case of Bluff. Sorry for the voice crack here. Everyone rotated away on the post, but yet getting the first time down to 7 for the 6. I think Immortals are making a good counter push here, and this is going to be important. 2 versus 1. Let 2 is quite low. Kuga and T1 LT. They really need to keep Vanu, Marchina, and Romeo alive. They have the hit points. They have the cap points. They just need to kill the tanks out. Vanu is out. Let 2 is out. Bluff is in deep trouble. Romeo is out. The hit points are still really close, but Immortals have found Pashta and icing the tank, and Marchina will get a kill on Pashta. And they will turn their attention over to Post now. Vesset is now in deeper water. Can't get C back. Immortals have both A and B, not C. And Ripples and the Lavrushka is the focus for Immortals team, and has been taken out by Push. But it's not going to matter a lot now, because Immortals have 1,000 cap points as they retain their cap lead. by disallowing Bluff to get back A and B. So well into Immortals, good counter push down the middle, took out Yevgeny very quickly. And even if Bluff capped most of the hit points with the strip case, it was just an uphill battle for them. They can't get A and B back. They are consistently playing under pressure. They will have to find a way to tackle this issue with their initial strat because dealing with A and B captured by another team right at the beginning is definitely not a good thing. And Immortals really managed to win by a good strategy. So well done to Immortals. And we're going to Name Frontier now 1-1. I love when things go up evenly. And what can I say? I mean, it's great to see teams play teams really closely matched. This is going to be a long season ahead for teams. Top 8 is not going to be easy for any of them. Bluff and Immortals really need to do good stuff here. Name Frontier, whoever wins will be in a good position coming to the next Premier Skill tournament. They really need that to give themselves a good chance in the top 8. But we shall see. We shall see about this. Who will both these teams get in the top 8 in the end? At the same time, Bluff and Immortals. Oh my god. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Right. There we go. Name Frontier. Bluff. We're seeing triple object 777, triple strip case, and the crown bargain with on the other hand Immortals triple object 777, double strip K, a WZ13 and an IS7. Very important. Very important. Both teams always having, I mean, both teams have a similar lineup, not really identical, but close enough to call it a bit of a rubbish saying, but yeah. Immortals trying to blind fire at the beginning. Romeo and Lavrushka leading the charge in a strip K. Lavrushka takes a hit. Romeo takes a hit and on fire momentarily. Pasha takes another hit. Marchina also took a hit, but it's push that gets super aggressive right at the beginning. He only lost a little bit of hit points, and Pulse didn't manage to hit push, and now Bluff had dropped a lot of hit points. And that allows Immortal to push in and take out the tanks, because why can't they? They have the hit point pool advantage, they are making use of this hit point pool advantage, but they also need a focus fire. Pasture is now really low, and it's probably the first tank down for Bluff. Pasture, can he stay alive? Immortal's doing really good hit point pool sharing. Bluff's focus fire is not quite there at the moment. Marchina is the first tank down. Romeo is the next tank down, but Pasha goes down now. Push is still dealing with Leto. Lavrushka is dead. Leto's down to one shot, and potentially we're seeing 4 versus 5. And Immortals still with a really solid hit point pool advantage. They're 2 out, and Immortals they have to keep Wild Animal alive, but they should be able to win this one. Immortals leading by more than 2k points. Unless Bluff gets to 9 more rank, I think this will go to Immortals. Yevgeny down. Wild Animal out. Pulse out. Push out. 3 versus 2. Immortals with the numerical advantage and the hit point pool advantage. They can't really block this, and especially Water in the Crown Bargain, the low DPM tank. You really can't do much here. Cougar and Spider dealing with Classical. Good double tap onto Classical. That leaves Classical 1 shot, and Water also very low. Venue will land the killing blow, meaning Immortals are on a match point. If they win the next one, they will get the first place in Group 2, sorry, and that will put themselves in a really good positions for the top 8 fight. And Bluff will have to fight really hard in the next couple of previous skill tournaments, because this is not going to be the result they really want. They are also a top 4 contender. Immortals looking strong tonight. I'm amazed by their performance here. But at the moment, match point to Immortals. Who have thought that? Immortals. I mean, more than 40% of you actually think Immortals is going to win. So maybe it's not a surprise. After all, but you have to know Bluff. They were previously Ikra, bad bug team. They are good. They are good. They are a good team, but Immortals, after winning against Vale, that gave them a really huge confidence boost, and that alone might be enough for them to win the group. T4 for 3-0 against TRNMT. Vale still playing his Hash at the moment. FE69 3-1 against S Will. Catch is still against Vale, so we don't know the result of that for now. We know Paul 1. Axe 2 still playing against Onyx Gen team. So's 3-0 against Turks, which means a couple more results in the battle for the third place. So going back to the issue at hand. Bluff versus Immortals. Immortals, they're taking triple Object 777, double IS 7, double Strip K, Bluff, triple Object 777, double Strip K, and MLE and a TVP. What went wrong to Bluff last battle is their focus fire, I'm afraid to say. Their focus fire in the first battle, all the Oasis Palms, is perfect, but the last battle, something feels off there. They don't seem to be focusing the one target at the same time. There seems to be some communication lapses, but they can do great focus fire. Just don't write them off yet. Maybe they just had a blip. Who knows? We're going back. Bluff red team for the north spawn and Immortals blue team for the south. Let's see what Immortals are going to do here. They're both doing a BC strat. So they're not going to put their tanks over to A. They're not going to engage A. Wild Animal tried to get C red at the beginning, but we could see Yevgeny and Classico going straight onto... No. They're going past B, but they have also at the same time telegraphed this information because they've gone into B momentarily, meaning Immortals know they're going beyond B. And are they going to react to this information and push down? Cougar is leading the charge. And Bluff, are they ready for this push? Coming from Immortals, Cougar getting really aggressive. But it's all important. It's all about whether they can get those two Object 777 without taking too many hits. And it seems it's the case at the moment. Yevgeny's a focus for Immortals, and Bluff doesn't seem to have a reaction to that. But maybe they do. Let's and Ripple is now coming in to shut down Romeo. But Yevgeny's the first time down. And Classico's not going to last for long. 6 versus 7 here. And Immortals look very close to winning this one. I would say Classico down to 1 shot. It's 5 versus 7. And Hipwoods are now in favor of Immortals. Cougar gets a kill. Vanu misses a shot. But Spider is going to go down to 1 shot. Pause. Might kill Spider. But Pushy is going to put a good shot onto Spider. Spider's down. No, you can't friendly fire here. Cougar down. Machinella. Let 2 get ever wrecked. So this is now 3 versus 5. Good advantage for Immortals here. And they're looking for posture now. Their decisiveness is it's astounding. And Bluff, they might have got really aggressive over to B, but they don't seem to have a response to that. I don't know. Maybe they just reacted slowly, but it looks very weird for me for sure. I mean, with that strategy, they must have been tanks behind those Objects 777 to provide support, but no, there's no support, not a lot of support. And Immortals are allowed to farm, basically, without too much trouble. And that leaves now War to the last person standing, and Immortals will win Group 2. Immortals will win Group 2 and will be off to a strong start in the first previous skill tournament. And everyone, this is a huge statement for Immortals. They are looking for the top 8. They're looking to qualify to the top 8 the second season in a row. This is not something to joke about. Immortals, 4 tanks to Immortals 2K, great response. I mean, just like how they tackle Kraken Esports on the second battle on Winter Mardovka. Decisiveness is something that they have held on really well tonight. Bluff, the last 2 battles just seemed really weird to me. The first battle, their focus fire is just miles worse than their focus fire in the first battle of Oasis Palm. So something definitely was missing in the last 2 battles. I don't know what is missing, but it feels really strange. I don't know how to describe that, but I would expect Bluff to have fared a lot better, considering they had just had a really strong start. I would have thought Bluff would probably win, but Immortals, great win in the last 2 battles. Just had a good start. Their focus fire is consistent. Maybe there are a couple of bounces, but Bluff, the first battle, focus fire, I'm not sure what happened there. Second battle, I'm not sure what happened to the support for those object servers. It just looks really weird to me, but yeah, great job to Immortals. Well done to Immortals tonight and Bluff. We need more of that performance in the first battle on the first battle versus Palms. That's more like the Bluff that I love. I hope they can change up before the second previous skill tournament's not over yet. They are still going to be a contender for the top 8, but they need to do much better in the next couple of previous skill tournaments. And that's it for me. 3-1 in favor of Immortals. Uh 3-1, or is it 4-1? Sorry. Is it? Oh, something must have gone wrong. Oh. So something's not right here, because Immortals have done their fights tonight. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. Now something's not right. But Aqua won 4-0 against Lucky. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it's really strange. The countdown sound would take me back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's weird. I don't know. Group 1, it finishes 4-0. It's a best of 7 for Group 1, best of 5 for Group 2. Weird. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, at the end of the day, Immortals played really well tonight. For some reason, it's ended. It's ended. I don't know what we might change stuff. Is it because I didn't ready up? I don't know. I don't know, it's weird. Oh, it will continue in training room. Okay. So apparently there will be one more battle. There will be a training room for that. I might be invited, so please don't go away. So there is an issue for this. So Tolia will contact the people, and we will be back. Okay. The game has not finished yet, so I will be invited to the training room. So this is what I understand. From what I understand, at least. Because Group 3, we have Legion winning 4-1, so not a problem there. That's all to say. Vale still playing against Cash. Why is that? It's weird. Oh, I think I know why. Oh, I think I know why. No, but this is definitely. Oh no, it's no, it's weird. That was very weird. It's still going on, probably to a tiebreaker. Quick still playing against Raid. Rejects 4-1 against Socrates, so Rejects will win the group tonight. Dusted off the nerves, obviously. APA still playing against Opa. Oh, 3-0 against Axe 2. So I think we have all the results for the match, for the battle for 3rd place. Except for Cash versus Vale. So yeah, we're waiting on that room to be up. So the next map should be New Bay, from what I'm seeing here. But yes, once the room is set up, and we'll go in. But at the moment, we all have to wait until I get notification to end. Unless this is cancelled, which I'm not informed at the moment. So this is being dealt with for the moment. So please be patient, everyone. We'll be back, but I don't know when. Is the honest answer. Alright, so at the moment we have 3 clans in the first place. They are Rejects, Legion, and ARWV. So they have put themselves in a good position in the top 8 fight. But do we have more results coming through? Rumors being created. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, so Polya didn't expect that to happen right away. But we will see, because there is still because it's still like the teams are still playing, so unless Bluff want to call it a day. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have come to a highly unlikely scenario where the system has failed, has some technical issues, but Cash has won 3-2. Another upset tonight. That is going to put a huge dent into Vale's campaign in the top 8. Be very sorry, barely lost to Immortals. That was very unlucky in the end, but what can I say? Vale will finish in the 4th place. Kraken and Raid are still playing. AP and Opa are still playing. I'm afraid we still have to wait. But well done to Cash. So now the cups in the room will be up soon. Okay, I'm here, and we're going to New Bay now. Currently, the scoreline is 3-1 as we speak. I'm not showing you the lineup or any of it. I'm not showing show the room, but we're going to continue. Now in the room, so there was a bug. Yeah, I'm in. So don't worry, this is still going to be streamed. We have come to a really unlikely scenario tonight. For some reason the system just didn't seem to work properly. Okay, we also have another result. APA 4-1 against Opa. And that means APA will be in the 1st place, tied with the other clans. With Rejects, Legion, and Akbar, meaning we are only left with Raid versus Quick, who will get the 1st place tonight there. It's going to be interesting. So at the moment 3-1 to Immortals. You can see the chat. I can't see the chat. Now I can see the tank, so I'm not going to go into the room unless the game started. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but at least, well, at least we're not ending the stream. We are not ending the stream. So great stuff from Immortals. They are now on a high at the moment. 3-1 is the score, and they're leading. But we're going to New Bay now. New Bay is a different map and a totally different story. It's much more compact and enclosed. So perceptually, it feels like a small map. But again, as I quote, "Will give me all the maps are made with equal sizes." So the reason why New Bay may feel smaller is that there are a lot more spaces that are not drivable, because there are lots of sky rises and a lot of narrow corridors. So it feels like New Bay is not a big map, when in fact the size are just the same. So Bluff are now and Immortals are both ready. I think Tolian might want confirmation from both teams. Specs has been allocated. Players VK. Tolian is going to initiate the fight. And we're in near base 3-1, currently leading for Immortals team. There was a glitch in the system, meaning we are going to a training room. But Immortals, they will feel really confident about coming to this 3-1, and really great two battles we have seen. But this time we're seeing them committing their forces over to Vale, and Bluff, can they make a comeback here? Great starts for Immortals as they have put shots onto both Letu and Pashta. Marcinek, however, is really aggressive, so he has to play carefully here. Letu can put a shot onto Marcinek, and Immortals haven't lost any hit points. Oh, actually, they did. Vale and Vasset lost a little bit. And hit points are in favor of Bluff. C has been captured by Immortals, so that will give them the cap lead. And Cougar in the light tank. It's a map that the light tank is probably not going to be quite used, but you never know. You never know about the use of a light tank. But Immortals are holding out well, but they're training still. Pulse lost some hit points, so if Immortals can hold this area nicely, I think they can sit this one out. And it all relies on whether Cougar can make use of that light time. This is going to be the make or break scenario. I think what Cougar is doing, Cougar's purpose there to keep those tanks off Bluff that are near the bridge spotted, and maybe he could actually put a crossfire there. But that shot did not register. And Cougar, great shot onto the Lavrushka. And Immortals are coping really well. Are we going to be seeing another shot from Cougar? Cougar is spotted. Rimbososkin's trying to put a big shot in, and this is going to matter a lot. Cougar needs to get out of the way. Vasset, can he put one onto Rimbososkin? Water takes a hit. Immortals are getting aggressive near A. They have the hit point advantage potentially there. Vasset now coming in to support the team, going up the ramp. That will leave Cougar doing 1v1 against Rimbososkin, going round in circles. Rimbososkin with more hit points, but Cougar puts a good shot into Rimbososkin now. Immortals are still hanging on. They haven't really pushed. Bluff still trying to defend with 6 tanks. Bluff will successfully get Rimbososkin. Romeo takes a big one. We'll try to take out Rimbososkin now. Action is going on C, and that means Bluff has the numerical advantage near A with 6 tanks compared to Immortals with 5, but have Immortals chipped enough points away off Bluff? That will be the biggest question to answer for Immortals. They also have the hit point pool lead by a lot, by more than 2k. Is this enough? Immortals Marcinek is going to go down to one shot. Gets taken out by the Lavrushka. Meanwhile, 2v1. They've taken out Rimbososkin, which is going to be helpful. Pasha is down. Push on fire. Gets taken out by Letu, and Vasset now in huge trouble. Letu is out. Pulse is down to one shot. Gets taken out by Romeo. Value's down to one shot. Lavrushka also quite low. 3 versus 5 right now, looking pretty solid for Immortals, but at the same time, hit points are so close. I don't know what's going to happen here. Gram kill from Water onto Vasset. It's not over. 3 versus 3 now. Vanu down. Cougar and that light tank. It's going to be hugely crucial. Yevgeny out of the fight. 3 versus 2. Romeo a one shot. Big shot from Spider onto Lavrushka, but Lavrushka only manages to bounce. And Cougar still has lost hit points, but will be facing that frontal armor here. Spider good shot to Water, but Spider is now one shot to Water. And Cougar bounces. And Spider, good shot to Water. But Water, will he get a shot onto Spider and kill that tank? Oh, it's a bounce. Water is out. Meaning Lavrushka, the last one standing, it's going to be a forward victory in favor of Immortals. This means Immortals will surely win the grand final of Group 2 and get the maximum number of points you can get in Stage 3. 4-1 to Immortals. Great stuff from Immortals. Held onto the bridge extremely well, despite a numerical disadvantage, and the light tank, as I said, well, the light tank this time proves to be a key player here. Important in getting the crossfire from C. Rimble Services tries to tackle that, but gets countered by 2 tanks coming for him, and not much you can do, and Bluff simply can't conserve enough hit points to make use of that numerical advantage, and Immortals just was on fire against Bluff. Love to see that, and well done to Immortals. Impressive performance, and that means we are going to be. That means it's over for me. Not sure if there are any teams playing here, but let me update the final leaderboard for tonight and see we have results of Quake versus Raid, whether Quake will win or Raid will win, and it will end in favor of Raid 4-2, meaning we have our top, we have all the results in. So once again, let's repeat. Let's see the leaderboard and see the final leaderboard. And just double checking, I have 6. Oh, I might not have updated the third places. So there we go. This is the final leaderboard of tonight. We have APA, Rejects, Raid, Legion, Immortals, and ARWV in the first place, tied with 10,846 cups. TQT, Opa, Quake, and Socrates tied in the 7th place with 10,432 cups. Bluff and Unlucky are in the 11th place with 10,226 cups. FE69, He4, Pog, Soz, I, and Cash are in the 13th place, tied with 10,112 cups, and that's it. You have Turks as well, and a couple of clans with 9,802 cups, and those clans are, Turks as well, Vale, and Bot, and that concludes the first proof of skill on the EU server. The next proof of skill tournament I'll be following will be the Apex server, the second day. Until then, I'll see you on the Apex server, and have a good night. Bye for now.